Some call what we're seeing a Florida housing crash. But here's the reality: our housing market is recalibrating after years of extraordinary growth. Prices are moderating, inventory is higher, and yes, insurance costs are a real challenge. That's why we're advancing reforms to bring down premiums, cut red tape for builders, and protect affordability for families. Florida's housing market remains fundamentally strong, and while some cities are adjusting, this state will continue to be one of the best places to live, work, and invest. Florida's housing market, once a glittering beacon of opportunity, now confronts a perfect storm of its own making. After years of unprecedented growth, fueled by a massive migration wave, the Sunshine State is grappling with the harsh reality of an overinflated real estate market. Median home prices statewide have already softened by nearly 3% from their peak, yet this figure merely scratches the surface of a far deeper and more troubling housing market prediction. Inventory has surged by over 28% year over year, leaving a landscape where potential buyers have retreated to the sidelines. The chasm of affordability has widened into a canyon, as soaring insurance costs tack on thousands to monthly payments, pushing homeownership beyond the reach of many. Welcome to the eerie quiet of Florida's ghost towns in the making, where once booming beachside communities are subtly transforming into America's next monumental real estate regret. This isn't just a market correction, it's a profound shift, signaling a potential real estate crash. Today, we pull back the curtain on 10 Florida cities that stand as ground zero for this unfolding housing crash, a devastating downturn that has already begun. For more crucial analysis like this, consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our community. Number 10. Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie, a city once heralded as a beacon of affordability on Florida's Treasure Coast, is now spiraling into a significant housing correction. The promise of abundant new construction and a desirable suburban lifestyle ignited a post-pandemic housing boom, sending home prices soaring and attracting a tidal wave of new residents and investors chasing the Florida dream. But in 25, that dream is morphing into a nightmare of stalled sales and a looming real estate crash. The average home value has fallen to $389,032, a significant 4.3% decrease over the past year. A deeper dive into the numbers reveals a troubling narrative. The median time for a home to go under contract has ballooned to 54 days, a dramatic slowdown from the rapid-fire pace of a year ago. The number of homes sold has plummeted by 5.8% year over year, a clear signal that buyer demand is vanishing, replaced by a cautious wait-and-see attitude. This is no longer the frenzied seller's market of yesterday. It's a balanced housing market where supply and demand are finally equalizing. The affordability crisis is also a major factor here. The high price-to-income ratio, coupled with rising mortgage rates and soaring insurance premiums, constitutes a crushing financial burden for many would-be buyers. As Port St. Lucie's inventory of homes for sale swells to over 2,400 active listings, sellers are forced to dramatically lower their expectations, with a staggering 66% of recent sales closing below the list price. This city is caught between its past promise and a bleak new reality, where once booming subdivisions risk becoming a textbook case of a ghost town in the making. Number 9. Cape Coral. Cape Coral, a city infamous for being at the epicenter of the 2008 housing crash, is once again emerging as a leading indicator of severe market trouble. This sprawling community, renowned for its extensive canal system, experienced a massive housing boom in the post-pandemic years, with home prices surging by over 75% in just a few short years. However, in 2025, that polished facade is visibly starting to crack, revealing the fragility beneath. The median home price is now down over 9% year over year, reaching $350,000. A closer examination of the data paints an even more troubling picture. The number of homes sold has plummeted, and properties are lingering on the housing market for a grueling average of 89 days, a sharp increase from just 21 days during the peak. This is a clear sign of slowing demand and profound buyer fatigue. Even more alarming is the dangerous oversupply in new construction, which once fueled the local economy. Builders are now resorting to deep discounts, attractive incentives, and even covering closing costs to entice the dwindling number of buyers left in the market. The city now boasts over 6 months of housing supply, a level that firmly establishes it as a buyer's market. Insurance costs are playing a pivotal role in this slowdown, with many homeowners facing flood and wind policies that can astonishingly exceed their monthly mortgage payments. This crushing financial burden has deterred both investors and families. To compound these woes, a recent analysis revealed that Cape Coral has the highest percentage of homeowners in the country who are underwater on their mortgages, with nearly 8% owing more than their homes are worth. In 2025, Cape Coral is learning a painful truth. No real estate market, no matter how hot, is immune to the relentless forces of a housing crash. The very properties that once symbolized prosperity are rapidly becoming liabilities for their owners. Number 8. Northport. Northport, strategically situated between Sarasota and Fort Myers, was once envisioned as a prime destination for affordable new construction. The area enjoyed a significant housing boom, with home values skyrocketing by over 60% since 2020, drawing in a rush of families and retirees seeking a more relaxed lifestyle. Yet in 2025, that impressive growth is now in a painful, undeniable retreat. The average home value is down 6.0% over the past year, to a median of $342,000. The most alarming sign is the sheer oversupply, with inventory skyrocketing by over 45% year over year. This makes Northport one of the most overvalued real estate markets in the state. The median days on the market has more than doubled, and builders who added thousands of homes during the boom are now delivering those units into a rapidly cooling housing market, creating a dangerous glut that is crushing home prices. Over 30% of listings have already seen at least one price drop, a clear indication of mounting seller desperation. The affordability crisis here has escalated into a full-blown emergency. The high price-to-income ratio, coupled with rising interest rates and the daunting prospect of steep insurance costs, has effectively priced out a vast majority of the population. The very forces that ignited Northport's housing boom, new builds, and an influx of eager buyers are now working in reverse, transforming the area into a leading indicator of what happens when a real estate market dramatically outpaces its own fundamental realities. Number 7. The Villages. The Villages, a sprawling and highly desirable retirement community, was long perceived as an impenetrable fortress of wealth, seemingly immune to the broader market forces that impact ordinary cities. Its sheer scale and unique demographic of cash-rich retirees created an insulated microeconomy. The post-pandemic housing boom only solidified this reputation, with a constant flow of new residents driving home prices and sales volume to historic highs. However, in 2025, even this exclusive enclave is beginning to display serious signs of decline. The median home price in the Villages has dropped by nearly 6.5% year over year. While sales volume has remained relatively stable, this dramatic price drop signals a deep and troubling market correction. Homes are now sitting on the market for an average of 68 days, a significant increase from just a year ago. The housing market's Achilles' heel is its over-reliance on a small niche pool of buyers who are now exhibiting greater caution due to broader economic pressures and the rising cost of living. Over 33% of homes for sale have experienced at least one price drop, a clear indication that sellers are losing their pricing power. This isn't solely about the purchase price, it's about the total cost of homeownership. Even for those with ample cash, the escalating costs of HOA fees and property taxes are relegating the dream of forever appreciation to the past. The illusion of a forever young, forever valuable retirement paradise is fading, leaving behind a chilling stillness. For a community built on a lifestyle of certainty, This sudden shift is sending a cultural shockwave, forcing a critical reevaluation of its long-term stability in the face of a changing real estate market. Number 6. Naples. Naples, a name synonymous with elite luxury living, was also long considered an impenetrable fortress of wealth, seemingly immune to the market forces that typically affect other cities. Its breathtaking beaches and sprawling luxury estates have historically made it a prime destination for the ultra-wealthy driving robust home prices. But in 2025, even this exclusive coastal community is starting to show serious signs of decline within its real estate market. The average Naples home value is now down over 7% year over year. Meanwhile, homes are languishing on the market for a grueling average of 94 days. A dramatic jump that signals a complete loss of buyer urgency. Inventory has also swelled to its highest level in a decade, with over 30% more homes on the market compared to a year ago, creating a glut of luxury listings. The market's Achilles' heel lies in its over-reliance on a small pool of high net worth buyers. With a median list price exceeding $1.5 million, the typical mortgage payment on a home here is staggering, and even the wealthier are balking at today's high interest rates. But it's not just interest rates. A survey revealed that over 38% of so-called snowbirds who previously owned property are either selling or considering selling due to crippling hurricane insurance costs and escalating HOA fees. This flight of seasonal buyers is leaving a significant vacuum in the high-end real estate market. For a community built on the illusion of perpetual appreciation, this shift from an unshakable seller's market to one where buyers are negotiating aggressively is a cultural shockwave. Naples still boasts incredible natural beauty, but beauty alone cannot pay the mortgage. The market has fundamentally shifted, and with nearly 89% of recent sales closing below the list price, it's clear that the power now firmly belongs to the buyer. Number 5. Sarasota. Sarasota, with its renowned beaches, vibrant art scene, and reputation for luxury, was once a powerful magnet for high-income buyers and investors. The post-pandemic housing boom here was relentless, with home prices soaring and an influx of cash buyers often pricing out local families. But in 2025, that compelling narrative is breaking apart. While single-family home prices have shown signs of stabilizing, the overall housing market is exhibiting signs of a deep correction. The condo and townhome segment has been particularly hard hit, with prices down a staggering 17.8% year over year. The median time to sell is now over 100 days, signaling a complete loss of buyer urgency. Inventory, especially in the condo market, has swelled, with months of supply reaching over 7 months, a level that firmly places it in a buyer's market. This oversupply, combined with soaring insurance costs and HOA fees, is adding a crippling financial burden to high-priced units. For an area heavily reliant on a seasonal rental market, the recent drop in short-term rental occupancy to 46% is an alarming sign of a looming investor exodus, potentially signaling a significant real estate crash. Sarasota may still shine brightly on the outside, but a closer look reveals a city with more luxury listings than buyers, and a real estate market struggling to support its own weight. The very forces that built Sarasota's boom migration and luxury investment are now working in reverse, transforming the area into a leading indicator of what happens when a housing market outpaces its own fundamental realities. Number 4. Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, the sprawling coastal city celebrated for its intricate canals and prestigious beachfront properties, has long stood as a global symbol of wealth and real estate success. With a median home price hovering around $535,000, the city still projects an image of strength on the surface. However, a deeper dive into the data reveals that even in the Venice of America, the housing market's foundation is beginning to crack. The pain isn't manifested in a sudden dramatic drop in home prices, but rather in a slow, suffocating decline in affordability and overall buyer demand. The average Fort Lauderdale home value is down 4.5% over the past year, and properties are taking significantly longer to sell. The median days on market has jumped to a staggering 83 days, a sharp increase from just 33 days a year ago. A staggering percentage of homes on the market have experienced at least one price drop, a clear indication that sellers are rapidly losing their pricing power. This trend is forcing an exodus of renters and residents as sky-high rents and an overwhelming oversupply of new apartments create a dangerous market dynamic. Fort Lauderdale still glitters on the surface, but a closer inspection reveals a city with more homes than qualified buyers, and an economy struggling to support its own weight. Recent data from the Broward County real estate market confirms this chilling trend. Fort Lauderdale's year-over-year home value growth has dropped to a negative 2.7%, a sharp reversal from the robust appreciation of recent years. The once hot sellers market has now firmly transitioned, with the home price forecast score for the metro standing at a grim 32 out of 100, a clear indication of a declining real estate market. In certain zip codes, such as 33322, home values are down over 6%, accompanied by an overwhelming inventory of over 500 homes for sale and a sluggish pace of 82 days on the market. With average annual home insurance premiums in Florida projected to climb to over $15,000, many would-be buyers are discovering that even if they can afford the mortgage, the total monthly payment is pushing their debt-to-income ratio far beyond lender limits. In some cases, annual insurance premiums are nearly half of the principal and interest payment alone. This confluence of negative trends is creating a buyer's market, but one with a serious problem: a growing shortage of qualified buyers with the financial capacity to navigate these new and expensive realities. Number 3, St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg, with its bustling downtown and booming arts and restaurant scene, was the poster child for Florida's urban revitalization. The city's undeniable appeal to remote workers and young professionals sent home prices skyrocketing. But in 2025, that tide has definitively turned, leaving St. Pete with a fragile housing market built on increasingly overvalued assets. The average home value is now down 3.5% over the past year, to a median price of $357,371. Without that constant inflow of new buyers, local demand alone cannot sustain these inflated home prices. Inventory is up, and builders who added thousands of homes in surrounding suburbs during the boom are now delivering those units into a cooling real estate market, creating a dangerous oversupply. Buyer demand is fading, with a market sentiment score clearly indicating a declining market. The affordability crisis here has escalated into a full-blown emergency for a market that proudly marketed itself as the affordable alternative to South Florida. A sharp housing correction could leave thousands of recent buyers with negative equity. The very forces that built St. Pete's housing boom, migration, and perceived affordability are now working in reverse, making it one of the state's most vulnerable real estate markets and a potential precursor to a broader housing crash. Number 2, Miami. Miami has always been recognized as one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world, but its reliance on a volatile blend of luxury condos and international investors also renders it one of the most fragile. The median home price across the region still stands at a staggering $610,000, yet prices are demonstrably down in many key segments. A new report revealed that the Miami housing market saw a net loss of over 10,000 residents last year alone. Tech layoffs have also impacted the region's nascent tech scene, and inventory is slowly but steadily climbing, with many luxury properties now sitting on the market for months, a phenomenon virtually unheard of during the pandemic frenzy. The Bay Area's reliance on volatile equity markets is proving to be its Achilles heel. Condo prices in Miami have plummeted 14.6% from their 2022 peak, essentially erasing all gains made since 2015. The carrying costs are punishing, property taxes are high, and the average annual homeowner's insurance premium is a staggering $5,000, with some policies topping $10,000. In the event of a major housing market downturn, home prices could fall by 30 to 40%, wiping hundreds of thousands of dollars from a median-priced home and over $1 million from ultra-luxury properties. Such a collapse would not just be an economic event, it would unleash a cultural shockwave, fundamentally rewriting the Miami housing narrative for years to come and solidifying fears of a true housing crash. Number 1. Tampa. The Tampa Bay area, a sprawling region home to nearly 3 million people, has long served as a bellwether for the greater Florida real estate market. It was a favored destination for those seeking an urban feel without the sticker shock of South Florida. But in 2025, the bell is not just ringing, it's tolling for a potential housing crash. The median sale price in the Tampa metro is now down a significant 2.4% year over year. This is far more than a mere dip. It represents a structural correction in the housing market. The number of homes sold has plummeted while inventory has exploded. A snapshot of the market reveals that active listings have surged, providing buyers with more options than they've had in years. The average days on market has also jumped, with some homes now lingering for 78 days or more, a significant increase from the fast-paced market of previous years. The affordability crisis here has become a full-blown emergency. While the median household income in the Tampa area is around $76,000, the average monthly mortgage payment on a median-priced home with today's interest rates is crushing for most families. Recent data from multiple sources paints an even more dramatic picture. In Pinellas County, home prices are down nearly 5.5% year over year, largely attributed to the lingering effects of hurricane damage that has led to a number of properties being sold at land value, consequently dragging down the average. Meanwhile, the Tampa metro area has witnessed a nearly 40% increase in unsold inventory, with a staggering 146 homes failing to sell in the first 6 months of 2025 alone. The real estate market has shifted from a robust seller's market to a balanced one, but this balance is precarious. For a market that once thrived on frenzied demand, the sudden lack of urgency from buyers is a chilling sign of what's to come, hinting at a severe market crash. Florida's once unrivaled housing market is clearly facing a reckoning. The detailed analysis across 10 distinct cities, from the suburban stretches of Port St. Lucie and Northport to the luxury enclaves of Naples and Miami, paints a consistent and undeniable picture. A profound and potentially devastating real estate crash is not just on the horizon, but actively unfolding. Declining home values, surging inventory plummeting, sales and drastically extended days on market are no longer isolated incidents, but widespread symptoms of a market in distress. The relentless rise of insurance premiums, coupled with high interest rates and broader affordability crises, has pushed homeownership beyond reach for many and deterred investors, creating an unprecedented supply-demand imbalance. This isn't merely a recalibration, but a fundamental reordering, challenging the long-held perception of Florida as an impenetrable fortress of real estate growth. As the illusion of perpetual appreciation shatters, even the most robust communities are witnessing a chilling stillness, forcing a critical reevaluation of their long-term stability. The Sunshine State's housing market, once a beacon of opportunity, now serves as a high-stakes warning sign, demonstrating the severe consequences when a real estate bubble bursts, leaving behind the eerie quiet of what were once booming communities. Don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who needs to see this vital information, and of course, hit that subscribe button to Housing Crash. We'll see you in the next video, because sometimes knowing where not to buy can be the best investment decision of all.